This is a free download from the BBC. For more information, go to bbc.co.uk/podcasts.
Now listen, team, I just want to say the intros to the podcast recently have not been up to standard, so let's make this one count, OK?
OK.
Here we go.
What should we do to make it better?
Leave it to me.
Are we talking too much?
Just shush, I'm going to do the intro now. Hello, dear listener. Welcome to the Ian Lee podcast. Thank you for downloading it. If you want to listen to the show live, I'll tell you when and how you can do that. But first of all, let's see what's coming up this week. A little bit of this.
But then I have to get clips.
A little bit of this.
I'm not getting any clips.
And quite a bit of this.
I'm not getting clips.
And what happened when Justin did this?
I'm not getting a clip there either.
And why on earth was...
Stop it! That's one of the worst openers. But we'll go, I'll just leave it in.
Across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
Do I read these words?
Yeah.
Which ones?
The ones that are on there.
So, sometimes I think Joyce in Leagrave is the only one on the show that talks any sense.
You sounded like you were reading it.
I am.
Do it like you're not.
You know, guys, sometimes I think that Joyce in...
You're so sincere.
In Leagrave is the only one on the show that, how can I put it, talks any sense.
I love it. Perfect.
Is that better?
Yeah.
It looks like some police stations are going to be closing in Hertfordshire. Would you miss them, Joyce?
Hello?
Hello, Joyce?
Yes, we would.
Why?
Well, because visibility of police in any area, any street, anywhere, gives people confidence and it puts fear into people thinking things. Now, they're on about communication. I suggest, to be honest, with our commissioner that probably would be joining up with the three counties, etc., if we got a burglary, as we had the other week, the police should put little papers, get from the computers and whatever, keep these little notices to say, hey, there's been a burglary in your road. They should put those in 3 houses each side of the property affected and opposite, so we are aware of the actual burglary taking place.
Why should they do... Why is it the police's responsibility to do that?
Because when the police is called to a place, your house if it's burgled...
Yep.
We used to be, the police used to come and knock the doors physically, but putting papers in the door, little newspapers, telling you about the robbery. We would be aware on the day, not after the day. We never got any communication whatsoever. And the thing being, there was another robbery down the road. That took place on a Wednesday. That took place on the Friday. And there were 2 on the Friday, and there was one early in the morning further down the road. That was 4. If we had been aware by communication from the police, which we never got, we had to do it all. And I think this is utterly despicable. And it's frightening, to think our police aren't there anymore.
What do you reckon, Dennis?
Yes, get the police out on the road, please. Don't shut the police station. Actually, we've got a very big one in Dunstable. It would make a very big housing estate if they knocked it down. So get the police out on the road. Yep. I wasn't ringing about that, by the way. It's this toilet. I was going to make an offer for it. Well, then I could sell it to Vauxhall. They could connect up that terrible smell which is coming out of Vauxhall, and they'd have a properly ventilated place. They could blame it on the toilet then. Okay. I was going to rent it to them. That satisfy you? No. Oh, well. Thank God I'm not paying for BBC, because I don't pay any tax, thank God. Bye-bye.
Joyce, apparently Beds police do that already.
Well, I'm sorry, they didn't in our place, and the words were, when one came to the door opposite, when we made a fuss about it, we rang up and got to Bedford to get to this and get to that, because there's no direct phone links anymore, and they were saying, oh, well, resources. I said, resources? Don't talk to me about resources. We've all wanted to find more resources, but if you had told us you've taken more money because you haven't told us there's been other burglaries down the road.
But Joyce, shouldn't it? Surely the onus should be on the person who's been burgled to go and knock on their neighbours' doors.
Come on, what are the police paid for? Honestly,
But if everyone needs to save, if the police need to save a few quid, then if I got burgled, I would certainly go and knock on the couple of houses opposite and the house next door, possibly a few more. Just say, look, just let you know, we had a break-in last night. Just make sure you're locking all your doors and windows.
Which we did.
Wonderful.
We have got telephone numbers opposite, or we've had it a couple of years. So we don't go down if there's a problem in the street. We ring each other up and we do all that.
And isn't that what we should be doing more, Joyce? Isn't that what we should be doing more? It should be down to us more than the police. The police have got, they're investigating crimes. They haven't got time necessarily to go knocking on doors and posting things through letterboxes. We should be doing that.
It doesn't take much time, Ian, to keep their jobs and their respect from the people by putting, say, 6 or 9 little leaflets through the door where the property has been affected. And that would help us prevent, and we help the police. We've always worked together, and we want to continue to do so.
You do the next one.
Do them all. Oh.
You do the next ones and show me how to do it.
I thought you did acting.
Okay.
Did you see my sitcom? Yes.
Hey, fancy hearing a story about Karen Brady? Of course you do.
The Daily Mail. Why is the PM taking racy Apprentice star and his father-in-law to China?
Which racy Apprentice star?
Karen Brady.
Oh.
I interviewed Karen Brady once, and the man who looks like my father-in-law, Nick. And it was very exciting. Oh, sorry, was that gesture telling me to turn off the microphone so you could cough?
Thanks, Kath, I'll have that.
I have another one. I'm done, Karen. Turn the fader off. I need to have a really good cough.
No,
It's not normally a cough, I have to turn it off
Get
for.
some for the coughing montage. Oh, she's leaving. Yeah, I'll get that as well.
Thanks, Kath.
Thanks.
I had to interview Karen Brady, and I was using a piece of recording equipment called a Marantz, which is it's quite old school, and it's really difficult to work. I couldn't work it. And we kind of got... It was like a junket, so there were loads of us, and we got herded into a room...
What are you laughing at?
I've just got the audio ready to clip Kath's cough, and you can see clearly where she's coughing.
Can I tell my story?
Sorry,
Marantz.
something about Karen Brady's Marantz.
Well, that's what I was getting to.
Right.
So I didn't know how to use this piece of equipment, and the interview started...
That wasn't me.
We haven't got time for the Karen Brady Marantz story now.
Oh, please.
Oh, get
It's
lost.
awful.
Catherine, you have a go.
Okay.
You can do voices and stuff. Don't, though.
You need to get your sounds up for this bit.
It's up.
Oh, dear.
Go.
He did eventually tell the rest of the story.
Telling me to turn
Wait,
right.
you've done that too soon. She'll give you the nod when to play it.
Give me the finger. Finger me when you want me to hit the button.
He did eventually tell the rest of the story. It's quite a good one. He'll play it to you after this. Back to that story.
She's
Wait.
supposed to give me the finger.
You didn't give him the finger.
Oh, right.
Finger me.
That's not in my job description. He did eventually tell the rest of the story. It's quite a good one. He'll play it to you after this. Oh!
Give him the
he's got a
finger.
text!
I don't care about text.
She's
Finger
really
me.
distracted. So you say the end of your
I've
line,
had a close encounter!
and then give
Yeah, I'm sorry
Ian
about
the
that, Catherine,
nod.
but I'll lock the door next time. Yes?
So you say the line, you give Ian the nod. Ian, you play the audio.
Right, okay. Shh.
Right, start again.
And scene. He did eventually tell the rest of the story. It was quite a good one. I'll play it to you after this.
I don't do a programme about Adolf Hitler.
Back to that story. After this.
I'll just assume that's...
Well, so will I. I've not got an instruction.
Drugs, prostitution.
And now back to Karen Brady. After this.
This week on the South Bank Show, we'll be looking at the sound of music.
Now, seriously, back to Karen Brady.
A little over an hour ago, I was starting to tell the story about how I was interviewing... What?
Nothing.
It's my Karen Brady Marantz story.
I'm sure it's a really good story.
So, Karen Brady and Nick Hewer, I think his name is, from The Apprentice. They were promoting a new series of The Apprentice a couple of years ago, and I got to go and interview them. And I had this Marantz, which is like an old-fashioned sort of digital recorder. It's quite bulky. I just
Does
got
the
it.
story get better?
Yeah, well...
On the scale of 1 to 10, how
Yes.
interesting are we going to find the story?
Well, hang on. How would you
I'm going to clip that for the cough montage.
Is there a docker in there? Who's that fella? Is it Barry White coughing? The thing is, when we walked in, everybody started recording, and I couldn't get my thing to record. Okay, but the interview had started. The interview was 10 minutes long. For 4 minutes of that 10-minute interview, I was pretending to be recording it, when really I wasn't recording anything. I was just fiddling around trying to get the thing to work. So I'm holding a microphone under Karen Brady's nose and was recording it, but I wasn't recording it. I couldn't record it. I was miming recording.
And then what happened? Did something good happen?
There is a PS to that story.
Did you record any of it in the end?
Bit of it, yes.
What did you use it for?
Research.
Why were you recording?
But yes, there is a PS to this story, a postscript, if you will.
Traveller in if you wanted to go to Alice.
Karen Brady. Stop coughing for Nick, the listener, who's getting off on that. Karen Brady was wearing a dress that had a slit in it. Okay, so you know you have a slit in a dress. Is that right? Is that the term?
Yeah.
What's that buzzing noise?
I don't know, I can hear it.
Anyway, so she had a slit in her dress, and let's just say there was a little bit of Sharon Stone going on.
Oh, shush.
No, seriously!
I don't get that reference.
I'll explain it to you after.
Mum will explain it to you. On Tuesday, Sick Note was off, so Kelly Betts produced. This is the sort of content she provided. You right, Just?
All right, boss.
Where were you yesterday?
Heavy weekend. Just leave it at that.
Just leave it at that?
Mm.
You were supposed to be doing the show yesterday.
Yeah, heavy weekend, sorry, boss. Every now and again you've got to, not turn up for work.
I haven't
Yesterday
done
was one of those days.
Can you believe what you're hearing, Dennis?
No, I can't. The fantastic amount of money he must be making. How dare he not come and give us something to do?
Yeah.
Sorry. You're supposed to be the voice of Bedfordshire, for goodness sake.
Sorry, Den boy, sorry.
A Merry Christmas to you before you go away.
And you, thank you.
Okay, then.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Can we crack on now, Ian? I've said sorry. Let's just move on, okay? It was tough.
Oh, you do live an exciting life, I don't know.
Latvia.
Latvia? And that was a weekend job, was it?
It was, yeah.
Was it snowing?
It was snowing.
Reindeer?
Didn't see any reindeer. It was freezing cold and they don't like English people. So all in all, it was, a very jolly weekend.
What was against? Why don't they like English people?
I don't know. It's a very strange one, that, because, couldn't work it out.
And I was going to get a job as ambassador for Manchester there.
Really?
Yes.
You should maybe try.
Well, no, I shan't bother now because...
Oh, Dennis, hang on, Dennis. It's our song.
What?
It's our song. Je t'aime. Dennis, did you get that massage oil that I sent you last week?
Massage oil? No, certainly not. Which Dennis? You're talking to Luton Dennis or Dunstable Dennis?
No, Dunstable Dennis, you.
No, I didn't get any massage oil.
They told me Royal Mail were going to be busy in the lead up to Christmas.
Is that what you buy me for Christmas?
Yes.
When do I have to use it? Before I get into bed at night? Otherwise I'll slide out of bed.
I'll pop round.
Yeah, good. I've got something on the hob, actually.
Just tell your wife to go out for the night and, I'll pop round.
Listen to me. Tom Daly.
Yes.
What the hell has it got to do with anybody else about Tom Daly?
Well, I've been out talking about that this morning. I don't quite know what Ian's doing, but I have been out this morning talking about that, and I don't get it, Dennis, myself. I don't get, yesterday I heard people talking about it, overheard conversations, social media was full of it, the front page of the newspapers this morning. If Tom Daly's gay, who really cares? Do you care?
No, I don't care in the least. No, the best of luck to him. He's a nice-looking lad. Unfortunately, he's ruined the illusions of quite a lot of nice young ladies.
Well, has he, though?
Fantasy,
because he said he still likes girls, of course.
Yes, I know, but that's it's sort of... butter and bread on both sides in that case, isn't he, really?
Dennis, he's a fantastic diver, and he presents the greatest TV show around, Splash. Right. What more do you want?
No, I don't. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't even jump in from that height, never mind dive.
Certainly shouldn't be judged on his sexuality.
No, not in the least. Don't forget, I was in the Navy for about 7 years, and there was lots of this going on, and some real ugly-looking blokes who were quite nice, the nice part of the thing, you know, big tough blokes, and they were the nice part of this business.
Don't know where you're going with that one, Dennis. But
Justin, you've been out speaking to people this morning about this, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, you were fascinated as well, Ian. You were saying this morning, we were looking at the newspapers together, and we couldn't quite work out why this was front-page news, because... it's not exactly 1972 anymore, but as you mentioned, it's bright and early. I've been out this morning asking people about the front pages of the papers, and here's what people have had to say. Pete's bright and early this morning. Tom Daly on the front page of pretty much every single newspaper. Is that front page news?
Definitely not. No, not at all. Because I don't know why he's come out and said it for. Because in my view, people don't need to come out of the closet and that. If people want to be who they want to be, they want to be. If they want to be gay, then fair enough, you know.
So whether he's gay or not, your perception of Tom Daly hasn't changed in the slightest?
No, he's an Olympic diver. That's all I know Tom Daly has. It's got nothing to do with his sexuality at all. I don't know what...
Are you surprised, though? I mean, everyone yesterday was talking about this just because somebody is gay. I mean, the whole thing just confused me, to be honest with you.
No, I agree with you. It's ridiculous. I mean, people come out of the closet before, and why is it always big-time news, you know? People whoever they are. I don't understand why it's such a big deal.
A number of people have got beliefs that there are lots of Premier League footballers who are gay.
Yes.
Do you think by Tom Daly coming out and saying what he said, that might influence a few of them to come out and be honest as well?
Yes, yeah, they could do, but do they need to? That's what I'm saying, do they need to? I don't really understand the way they think, to be fair. I know they're sportsmen, and people perceive them as what they are at the moment, and they are sportsmen.
So despite any front pages this morning, you'll still look at Tom Daly as an Olympic diver and nothing else?
He's Olympic, in my eyes, he's an Olympic diver. He's a very good Olympic diver, and that's how the country should portray him, as an Olympic diver, and it should have nothing about his sexuality at all.
Not really. Doesn't really matter to me.
No, I don't think it is, no. It's his life. He can live it how he wants, can't he? It's up to him.
It does strike me as odd, Justin, that it has made front-page news, and I'm sure this morning... Well, maybe we won't. I'm sure this morning we might get a phone call from someone who's shocked or offended. Thank you for getting that. You've got a very busy morning this morning, Justin. We've got a very important visitor coming to Bedfordshire. Who is it, and where are you going to be?
Yes, Prince Charles, of course, coming to Bedford today. He's coming to the Cecil Higgins Museum, and then he's off to the church as well for the Christmas Tree Festival.
Sweet.
I'm going to be live in Bedford later on with the royal family. Eh?
Well,
are you worried?
Why? What are you going to do to them?
Oh, well, I'm not going to be doing anything. I'm just saying that they're sending me to go meet the royal family.
OK, right. Yeah, I've just got it in my contract. I don't go out when it's cold. Only idiots do. Do you want to stay here for the papers with Kelly?
Yeah. All of 30 seconds?
We got a minute, Kelly. Over to you.
So on the front page of The Independent, underneath Tom Daly's face, scientists discover the difference between male and female brains. A nice long paragraph basically saying that women can multitask and men like you, Ian, can't. Remember earlier how when you were reading the papers and I was talking to you and you got really annoyed because you couldn't take in both sides of information? Do you remember that?
What else have you got?
So there's this taxi driver who was pulled over. He's got lots of hair. The police checked his licence, and he said, well, you're bald in this photo. It was his brother's licence he was using. And he said, well, no. See, what happened was that I've had a hair transplant, and that's why I've got hair now. Oh, and I look younger now than I did then because of the...
Justin, hair. Dennis, what do you reckon? Justin, you first.
I'm quite impressed with this, actually. I think you should get off her back. I think she's quite good.
Thanks, Justin.
All right.
Just for legal reasons, I'm not actually on her back. Dennis?
No, if you're talking about Kelly, no, she's always been a favourite of mine anyway, so I can't say anything nasty about her.
Despite the fact that the last 30 seconds of content has been utter pony?
No. I think that she's right. I think she's perfectly right. Women do multitask.
Dennis, Justin, thank you very much. Kelly, see you later on.
Bye.
There we go. Can I have a cup of tea?
Louisa?
Chris is in Farley Hill. Morning, Chris.
Morning.
Front page news. Should it be?
See, Farley Hill's my Corton area. I mean, Stopsey. And I never saw the sun will splash this about, but I think that's his personal opinion. It's not. It's just sensational to me. I mean, I said to a young lady, my daughter had a friend in Dixon's who was gay as well. He was a good friend of her. He had XR3I. And there's a... I can't
an XR3I?
Yeah, but she was caught... She wasn't married then. She was... Like, but he was...
And he was gay and he had an XR3i?
He was in Dixon's and he ran her about.
Right, in the car?
And chose undies, whatever, as a friend.
Right, OK.
You know, and I can't mention the name. There's a bookies in town. The bloke is serving. He's gay, but he's OK.
They're OK, aren't they?
He deals with the dickheads, I tell you.
OK, steady on. Just have to... Category C, I know. We've got young ears, Chris, so just beware.
What I'm saying is he doesn't stand any nonsense in the bookies.
Good for him. Well done. So we shouldn't be bothered. What about these people who are saying...
I never watched that programme, I don't think.
Oh, you should watch it, it's good.
Yeah, but I go past there, you see. Yeah. That's my old Courton area, Stopsley.
Oh.
Going to Hitchin, where you opened the lights and I wasn't there.
Yes.
I mean...
Chris, can I ask, what are you listening to in the background?
I've got heart on, to be honest, but they're playing... I'll turn it down, young man. They're playing H's in the... See, years ago, there was...
Hang on, did you just say you've got heart on?
Yeah, I transferred to that because I sing and play guitar. But why are
you listening to Heart and calling me?
No, but that young lady came back to me, you see.
Right.
I'll just turn the volume down, sir.
Yeah, please do.
I can't...
Turn it off.
You get
put Three Counties on now.
Yeah, but...
No, Chris, put Three Counties on. I want to hear Three Counties coming through your speakers.
I can do that.
Do it now.
Give me one shake of a lamb's tail.
By the way, just apologies for anyone offended by the Category C swear word. It's not a major one, but I know that some people have got young ears listening, so... Fair play, Heart sound good, actually. Chris? He's tuning into BBC 3CR, which is it's great news for us. Chris? Oh yeah, Chris, have you got it tuned in now? This is almost as bad as watching paint dry. We're listening to a man tune in his radio. Wow.
Yeah.
Chris.
Hello.
Is it working?
Yeah, but I'm old out, you see. For Christmas, I'm treating myself to some new gear, you see.
Nice. Nice. You're going to get a digital radio at Christmas.
My daughter said she's treated me, and she won't tell me what it is yet, you see. See, years ago, she bought me... And I was in rehab through alcohol, but forget all that.
Yep.
And she bought JBC top of the range CD player with the bloody remote control.
Beautiful. Just curb your language a little bit, Chris.
Sorry.
That's all right.
No, but I cried a bit.
Yeah.
Because you see, I was with grandchildren. I don't know if they do them now. It's the only one JBC that had a remote control. I've still got that one.
Well, Chris, listen, let's hope you get a DAB radio. 2 Category Cs. That's the limit I think we can endure. Apologies, anybody. I know you won't be offended, but there are people who monitor this show who hope to be offended, so they can then write in complaints and get me the sack. Well, apologies for anybody offended there. Chris, thank you very much. Just watch your language next time you come on, fella. That's what listening to Heart does to you. It takes your language down to the gutter. You don't get that here, although you sort of do then. Stephen's in Houghton Regis. Morning, Stephen.
Good morning, Ian.
Does anyone care anymore?
Well, I don't necessarily care about individuals when it's their life, but I do care when you get front page of, like... Paul Flowers, the co-op chap, who was a Reverend Methodist minister. Now, that hurts because I am a Methodist.
And so why does that hurt you?
Because basically he was part of something that I believe in. So therefore, once it goes over the boundaries of outside of your own personal life, then front pages make a big difference.
But why...
I'm writing it out, basically.
Sorry?
I'm writing sort of front pages out.
And I appreciate you for doing that. Why would Paul Flowers, being gay, be an issue for you?
No, it wouldn't. Not being gay. The fact is, when we heard last weekend, he was a Reverend Methodist minister.
Right.
Mum and I looked at each other in total horror because he was out there standing in the pulpit preaching to other people.
But he wasn't preaching anti-gay...
No, nothing to do with being gay.
Right.
It's more to do with the fact of, if it's a personal thing that the person's on the front page for, couldn't care less. It's as soon as it's something that they do on the front page, that is to do with other people's, beliefs or whatever.
You got a phone call, Steve. Someone's phoning up to tell you you're on the radio.
No, sorry, just snooze came off.
Okay, but I'm still slightly confused because but what Paul Flowers gets up to in his bedroom. I mean, yes, it turns out he may have led a particularly complicated lifestyle, but that doesn't.
No, it's nothing to do with the fact of.
I'm struggling a bit, Stephen, here to understand what you're saying.
Nothing to do with the fact of what he does in his private life.
Yeah.
But the fact is that he was actually a reverend,
right,
standing in the pulpit on a church on a Sunday.
But he's still doing it in his private life. So why would that affect what he does? His job? It won't affect his job, will it?
No, but the fact is he is a. I basically go to church.
Yes.
And I very much believe, and I'm a Methodist.
Right.
So therefore, I've got my views and everything else and beliefs. And when someone actually comes out who is totally and utterly maybe wrong, that hurts and is front page news.
So Paul Flowers is wrong?
It doesn't. The fact that Tom Daley, whatever he does,
yeah,
is fine, and I've got no problems with that at all. But it's not necessarily news because it's Tom Daley.
No, but it's news if it's a Methodist minister.
It's news if it is something that the person is doing.
Yeah.
Who has a following? Swimming has a following, but not in the same. But not in the same way.
You mean a spiritual following?
Yeah. If there's a spiritual.
I don't know very much about Methodism.
No, but I'm thinking of church. You can say if Paul Flowers happened to be a Catholic or Anglican.
Okay. But what's wrong with having a gay priest?
Oh, nothing wrong in having a gay priest.
As long as you don't know about it.
As long as you don't. As long as you don't, as long as you don't know, he's a person, yeah, fine, but not, it's when they actually come out, frontline headlines,
yes,
Methodist minister,
So I'm struggling a little bit, Stephen. You're saying it is wrong for members of the clergy, various branches of Christianity, to come out on the front pages of a newspaper as being gay. Why?
Yeah, I mean, so also to a certain extent, it's not only necessarily gay. It is anything that is not how society would pursue as normal.
But being gay is perceived as normal these days.
Oh yeah, the gay side of it is not a problem. And if Paul Flowers literally just come out and said he was gay, I'd say so fine, no problem at all.
Okay.
But individuals coming out on the front page with literally their own private life.
Right.
Because, basically, Daley does swimming, fine, no problem at all.
Wearing green, it's the greenest I've ever seen. It's the green team. 2 tops, one's a polo shirt, it's green. One's a jersey, it's green. I can't see his trousers. I'm guessing they're green. No, they're not. They are cords. I think they are cords. They're nice, really tight brown cords.
I look like a tree, don't I?
You do look like a tree. Lovely big trunk.
A landscape gardener.
That's right. I never noticed. That's the uniform of the gardener, isn't it?
Yes, I'm wearing a landscape gardener's outfit today.
That's the uniform you'd wear if you're coming round to give the quote.
Yes.
You wouldn't be quite so smart when you come around to do the work.
No, I probably would. I'd be a very smart gardener.
I hate gardening.
Oh.
I hate getting mud under my fingernails. It's disgusting. I hate getting my fingers dirty. So I wear gloves if I ever have to do any horrible, dirty gardening. I wear gloves. But then the whole thing's ruined. Why don't you get gloves that go up to the elbow and then seal there? Because you get mud that goes in the hand and then you're kind of wearing a mud glove. Disgusting. I hate it.
I'd get a gardener if I were you.
Yes. Well, my wife does it. So I don't really have.
So you don't actually get any mud in your gloves?
No, but she gives me the she gives me the look as if to say, "Why don't you come and do some of this? It's good." And I don't want to.
Well, you need to work out a routine. You do the lawn, she does the digging.
No. The lawn with the 3 acres we've got. The lawn, just pushing that lawnmower. I want to get one of those ridey ones, the little car ones.
Oh, really? Yes.
That would be fun, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Dear Father Christmas, can I have a ridey lawnmower?
Well, if you've got a 3-acre garden, then you'd need a sit-on mower.
You would do. It's not 3 acres, really.
3 metres.
Something like that. Do you live in flats? Do you have share of a garden?
Oh, yes, luxury garden, yes.
Do you have to share who does the cutting and the weeding?
Good Lord, no. We have a team of people.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yes.
Very cool.
We have when we have our lawns cut, we have 3 men coming to do it, with 3 different mowers.
Blimey.
I know.
That's wonderful.
It's very exclusive.
Superb. I've known you for, well, it's over a year now. It's getting on, it must be about 16 months. I've still not been to your place.
No.
I'm looking forward to it.
Are you? So coming up on this morning's big phone-in at 9, are you all right?
No, I'm fine. Just... No, I mean, you want to... That's fine. What's on the show today, Jonathan? I'm just a bit... Yes.
Is there something you want to talk about?
No, not on air. This is an off-air conversation.
Really? You're hurt you haven't been round?
Yes.
You want to come round?
Yeah, of course I do.
OK.
Ooh.
Coming up on...
When do you want to... I mean, I've literally got my diary here.
Yes. This week is a bit chocker.
OK, next week.
To be honest with you.
Next week is completely empty.
Is it?
Yeah.
Next week... I tell you what, let's not do this now on air.
No.
Let me go home and check my calendar.
I can do Tuesday next week.
Tuesday.
Or Monday.
What were you thinking of?
Come round, watch some telly, have a bit of grub.
I don't really watch telly and have some grub. I'm not really that kind of person.
Thursday's completely free. I mean, all week actually is free.
Yes.
So you could name a day and... Friday's free.
When I eat, I have a candelabra.
What, to serve the food?
No, on the table.
Oh! Posh candles. So Wednesday, then?
I'll check my calendar.
Right.
Let's get this sorted off air.
Sweet. Look forward to it. What's in your show today, friend?
Coming up on this morning's big...
I can't wait for me and JVS to go out. That is so going to happen, and it's going to be awesome. I wonder what to wear. Anyway, Margaret in Milton Keynes called in about Tom Daley. She was very, very upset. Margaret's in Milton Keynes. Good morning, Margaret.
Oh, hello, everybody.
Hello, Margaret. Good to speak to you.
It's a sad day for womankind, isn't it?
Why is that, Margaret?
Well, what a waste. A gorgeous fella like that. I think the gay community should be celebrating, and us women should be in mourning.
No, you don't need to. He's a good-looking fella, Tom Daley, isn't he?
Yeah, and, I mean, it all started, didn't it, with Rock Hudson?
Sorry?
It started with Rock Hudson coming out.
What, homosexuality started with Rock Hudson?
But, yeah, he was gay. That was a sad day for women. And then there was, George Michael, weren't there?
Yeah.
Oh, that was such a sad day.
Well, the thing about Tom Daley is he swings both ways.
He's gorgeous.
Well, he likes ladies as well as fellas. And also, it shouldn't be sad that someone's come out as gay.
Mankind. Us women, I mean, what do we get left with? The rejects. The men that got no dress sense, got fat bellies. I mean, they get the best lot. They get the cream of the crop. The gay community. We left with, well, blokes like you, I suppose. Are you gay? I don't know what you look like. If you're gay, I bet you're a bit of all right.
And if I'm not gay?
Well, I don't know. Do you change your socks regular?
Well, yes, I do. If you mean by at least once a week, then of course I do.
You'd be surprised at the men that don't.
Oh, dirty. I was wearing odd socks yesterday, and it was frowned upon by the team.
See, but you're spoken for. Anybody that falls through the net that's straight gets snapped up straight away if they smell nice and look half decent. Just snapped up straight away.
Kelly Bett's only produced for one day, and here's why. Should have a quick look at the front pages. I mean, you know the front pages. It's Tom Daley, Tom Daley, Tom Daley. The Times, Tom Daley, 19, Olympic diver, revealed yesterday he was in a relationship with a man, which has made him so happy, so safe. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? Millions hit by crash of bank's debit card system. Oh, this was last night, wasn't it? The NatWest. You couldn't get any money out, and you couldn't buy any petrol or buy anything on your card. Did you get caught out by that? I know my wife did. Millions of NatWest and Royal Bank of Scotland debit card holders were left high and dry last night after a technical glitch crashed payment systems on one of the busiest shopping days of the year. They had that a while ago, didn't they, a little glitch? Oh, hang on a second. If we go to The Guardian, G2, The Making of Mary Poppins, How We Made It. Now, considering I only saw Mary Poppins for the first time last year, I'm now vaguely obsessed by it, to the point where I may go and see that film. How We Made Mary Poppins. I was shocked when I saw Julie Andrews smoking on set in full garb. Mary Poppins having a fag. Oh, we'll have a look at that. And also in the G2, there's an interesting article with James Fox. I didn't take that much acid. I've worked with James Fox. Or did I work with Edward Fox? I worked with one of the Foxes. Which Fox did I work with, Kelly? James or Edward?
James.
I think it was James. It was James, because he was a little bit... Who's the one... No, I don't know. Anyway, I worked with him. I'll be reading that later on. Or Edward, one of the two.
Oh, OK. Don't worry, I'll let you know.
Any clues, Kelly?
What was it for that you worked with him?
It was for a film with Christopher Lee in. My granddad. Granddad Chris. Big Chris. Yeah.
Grandad C.
Yeah. The Big C, we used to call him.
Let's just say it was James.
Let's
What's
say it
the
was
point
James.
in this, anyway? What were you talking about?
I don't know. I'm just trying to fill for the next 2.5 minutes.
Oh.
You got another 2.5 minutes of this. Because you, as a producer, have not managed to stack up any calls or any subjects that I can talk about, so I'm having to fill by pretending I can't remember which Fox it was I worked with. It was James.
If they don't want to speak to you, that's not my fault.
No, it's your fault because you are standing producer. I pray to God that Catherine Boyle is back tomorrow.
08459 455 555 if you'd like to speak to this man. Phones have... People have hung up, actually.
Don't blame it on me.
It's your fault, though, if there's no calls.
Lobby group influenced wind farm noise support.
Still no calls.
Doing a good deed for the day is a thing of the past?
Nope, no one's ringing in.
Migration target may not be met, Cameron admits.
Just empty.
I'm a boy, says Twin Girl 6.
08459
Literally another minute and 25 seconds of filling.
555.
I mean, does JVS want to start early? I don't know if that's a possible... I don't know
Ask him.
what the etiquette is. Fancy it?
His head's in his hands.
He's kind of...
08459
Don't keep giving the phone number out.
455.
It's making it worse.
555.
I'll do it. I'm a professional.
Go on then.
I'm going to fill for the next 54, 53, 52, 51, 50 seconds.
555.
Stop doing that.
Just so they know it. Put it in their phone. 08459
for goodness sakes.
455 555.
Here's the front page of the Daily Express. 10 pence cheaper than the Daily Mail. Who'd have thunk it? 90 miles per hour, Arctic storm on the way. Met Office issue fresh snow warning.
Maybe the phones are broke.
Arctic gales of 90 miles per hour are gearing up to batter. Many is a word you don't hear very often. Batter.
08459
Stop doing that.
455.
Many parts
555.
of Britain.
Oh!
Quick, phone call.
Hello, Three Counties.
Quick, put them on. Who is it? Just put them straight through.
Through. What's your name?
Doesn't matter. Put them through.
All right, Paul in Biggleswade is on line 1.
Paul, what can I do for you?
Well, I just thought I'd...
We're out of time. Lucy's in Dunstable. Morning, Lucy.
Good morning, Ian. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. I believe you have a personal connection with Nelson Mandela. What was that?
Not really personal, but I'm South African.
I picked that up from the accent.
Exactly.
Yes.
Stephen, what was he saying about the word terrorist?
Well, yes, we had the caller at the top of the hour said that he thought it was odd that we were celebrating what he called a terrorist.
If you would ask me, being a South African, growing up without a granddad who's sitting in Robben Island with Nelson Mandela, it was a stress. Having uncles who were out of the country in exile, it was stressful. So we as South Africans, we have suffered in silence when the whole world was watching. The Boer was killing people. What is he talking about? Because that was Margaret Thatcher. Remember saying the terrorist Nelson Mandela. And yes, she apologized years later, but it didn't make difference to some of us. It didn't, Ian. Today, the sun of Africa has fallen. And unfortunately, none of the people are following his footsteps.
There's a couple of things you mentioned there, Lucy. Let's just go back quickly if we can. So your grandfather was in prison on Robben Island with Nelson Mandela?
Yes, and few other more 170-something people who were there. He's one of the heroes who's still alive. He's still alive. He's 97 years of age.
And how long was your granddad on Robben Island for?
He was there in 1969 until 1994.
Wow. What was it like when he came out?
It was beautiful. It was beautiful, Ian. South Africa, I remember the day they mentioned that they are coming out. We heard it from the radio in the morning coming from school. No, in the morning going to school. We never went to school that day. We were celebrating because of that evening. It was a party in South Africa. We couldn't believe it. Our parents couldn't believe they will see the day, especially people who died in Alexander, the women who died for their rights, people who died asking to vote for South Africa. But there was nothing. The whole world was watching. The whole world was saying we were terrorists. But only few men stood and put everything down for the sake of their country. And how many people do that? Without a war. We didn't have guns. We had a stone and a shield. And that's all our uncles and our brothers knew how to defend a bullet. He needs to go back and look at 1976. He needs to go back and read history or look at history and see how many people have suffered through the apartheid regime.
How old were you, Lucy, when your grandfather was released?
I was born in 1976. My mathematics is killing me.
So 93, so hang on, you was...
1976,
yep.
And it was 1990 when he... 1990.
So you're about 14?
Yeah, I was already 14.
And what was it like? Obviously, you'd never met him. What was it like the first time you met your grandfather?
It was so good. It was so good, Ian. We were not allowed to go on the other side. My grandmother went with my mom. And when they came back with him from town, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. We were all crying. The whole village was crying. Everybody was crying because of they knew him. They knew him. And they knew what he stood for. And for us, he was a stranger. But to know that he's one of the people who has done this, the Sisulus, we don't live far away from each other, the Sisulus, all of the heroes. It was a village. Even if you go now in the streets of Soweto, you will see all those houses. They are called museum houses because we don't live far from each other. The men knew what they were talking about. Not this idiot who's driving on the motorway this morning and saying he doesn't know what we're going through.
The other thing you mentioned that was interesting, you said that there was no one in South Africa who was of the same calibre to carry on what Nelson Mandela had achieved. Do you think South Africa is going to be in trouble?
Politically, I think we are in trouble, politically. And probably I'm talking of me being here for more than 15 years. But to be honest with you, looking at it back home, I would have loved things to be changed so much. When I go home all the time, it's like thinking that if they could change this, making the poor be better, helping those who can, I think somehow making it an equal Africa, South Africa that we wanted it to be. I would think personally things haven't changed that much.
And Lucy, I really appreciate your call this morning. Thank you very much. It's very easy for me, a white middle-class person in Britain who's had it pretty easy to make judgments and things like that. But hearing from a black South African who has a personal involvement is fascinating. Well, just try and sum up for those listeners like me who might be struggling to understand how important Nelson Mandela was. What did he mean to you?
For us, he meant everything. He meant he was the father of the nation. He was there to tell us to say, to those who were fighting in 1976 in the struggle of the students when they didn't want to do Afrikaans anymore. He was the reason to the people to say, we struggle in prayer. We struggle without killing no one. We struggle in what we stand for. The truth, one day it will be set free. And that day, I could see it when Jesse Jackson was there saying, we are free today because of few words. Do not fight back. Do not fight back. And say, South Africa has come to a change. We did come to a free country. We did go to those shops where they were written, in 1980-something, shops still written blacks only, whites only.
buses were still written blacks only, buses or whites only. We became free. We became free. Yes, some of us had a privilege of a better education, but for those who had nothing, we felt for them. We felt the same situation which we're in. So Mandela today, we are celebrating the life of a hero. We are celebrating his life because if God didn't bring that man into earth, South Africa was going to be under somebody else. Probably the apartheid regime was going to go somewhere. And many others who fought. Today, I'm proud to say, Ian, Viva Nelson Mandela, viva, and may your soul rest in peace.
You're still here? And you?
Is that the end?
No, it's loads.
No, it's still, yeah.
If... I can't remember my character. How do I do...
What character? Were you doing sincere or Saki?
No, me.
It's only one or the other.
What do you mean, character?
The Ian Lee character I portray on the radio show.
Sincere or Saki?
I do more, a wider range than that.
Sincere, Saki?
Not
breathy.
Swallowy?
Ugly.
Oh, now.
If you're not up at 6 a.m. during the week, here's how I normally start the show. Morning, this is Ian Lee, BBC Three Counties Radio. It's Wednesday. It's the 4th of December. I watched half of a Christmas film last night. I'm feeling festive. Oh, I'm imbued with the Christmas spirit. Is imbued the right word, Paul?
Imbibed?
Yeah, with the Christmas spirit. Lots to talk about on the show, though. Not particularly Christmassy. Quite serious, in fact. As the government probe into allegations of grade massaging and bullying at the Barnfield Federation continues, its former boss has stepped down from his current job. Paul Scoins will be here with the latest, and he hasn't stepped down. In fact, he'll be stepping very much up to the mic. Catherine writes this stuff, Paul, I'm sorry. Catwee, angry locals, calibrated noses. It has to be a job for Justin Dealey. He'll be strutting around the streets of Luton in a shirt unreasonably slashed to the waist. Catherine writes this stuff. Sorry, Justin. And, sorry?
It's supposed to be unseasonably. Carry on, you ruined it.
I didn't ruin it, Catherine.
Yeah, you ruined it.
Right. I didn't ruin it.
Yeah, you did.
You wrote something that was too wordy and didn't work as a concept.
Was it a long word?
Hang on a second. You back now?
Yeah.
What happened, sick note? Where were you?
I was really ill. I'm still a little bit ill, but I'm soldiering on. You should try it.
Did you get all your Christmas shopping done yesterday?
No, but I did write your work for Christmas, so well done for that.
An awkward start to the show, isn't it?
Awkwado.
Makes you want to get up early, doesn't it? Yeah, of course it does! You're at a Christmas party, you're boogieing away, and the great song Another Rock and Roll Christmas by Gary Glitter comes on. It's a cracking Christmas record, but do you stop dancing or carry on? It's a question I was asking on the show this week. J-Dog, you heard Glenn there. Penny says the same thing. It's part of her memory, part of their childhood. They would have a little dance to Gary Glitter. A man's name that you can't even say on the radio.
No, I can't. I won't, to be fair.
Can I ask why?
Because I just think that you're going to cause offence, and very, very easily. Funny enough, a couple of years ago, I got an email from somebody called Linda in Dunstable, and she said, "Look, Justin, I know what's happened, but would you mind playing a song by the person mentioned? I will mention his name in the piece coming up, but." She said, because, very similar to what people are saying, because for me, I've got great childhood memories behind this particular song. It reminds me of my local youth club, and that's what your Saturday show is about, you know, songs and memories. So would there be any chance? And I politely declined, and I think that's probably the only request that I've actually declined outright like that, because I just thought if I do this, what it's going to do, it's going to annoy people, and the chances are I'm going to lose listeners, because a lot of people hate that man,
and you can't afford to lose any more. Okay, so you won't mention Gary Glitter's name on the radio because it will upset people. Would you mention Adolf Hitler's name on the radio?
I don't do a programme about Adolf Hitler, to be quite honest with you, when it comes to music, but
that's Jonathan.
I'm going to be a complete and utter hypocrite right now, because one of my favourite tracks from the 1960s is by Hedgehoppers Anonymous. It's Good News Week. Now, I would play that song because the majority of people would have absolutely no idea that was written and produced by Jonathan King.
Okay, so you wouldn't have a problem playing Jonathan Kim records, but yet he's a predatory paedophile in the same way. You'd play this, for example. You play this, and yet Jonathan King, whose crimes I would suggest equally as heinous as Gary Glitter's,
Absolutely.
wrote the lyrics to this.
But you're not playing a song directly by Jonathan King. If I was to sit there and play this morning, Jonathan King, Everyone's Gone to the Moon, I can guarantee you right now, your phone lines will be flooded with complaints. When you're mentioning that person's name and it's that person singing the record, that's entirely different.
Hang on a minute. So if we don't know it's them, it's okay. And also, he'll be getting a few pence off me playing this now. He's making money from me playing this.
No, I agree. No, I do agree. I do agree. But I think if you are playing a song by somebody like Jonathan King, let's mention him now, Gary Glitter, you are going to annoy people. But there are going to be a number of songs out there that people have got no idea that those people are associated with.
OK. You spoke to people about this morning. Justin, what did they have to say?
Yeah, put the scenario to them. You're saying that if you're at a Christmas party and a Gary Glitter song comes on, the Christmas song, which is, to be fair, a great Christmas song, what would people do? Here's what they had to say.
Absolutely no way. I think I'd go straight up to the bloke who put it on and take it off and tell him why, because the geezer's are wrong and he should be disqualified. None of his stuff should ever be played. He's a bang-out wrong un. That's my honest opinion. It quite upset me with that kind of stuff going on at parties and everyone dancing to it. He's, as simple as that. He's bang out of order, he's a wrong un.
If the DJ wouldn't turn it off and people were dancing, would you go up to the dance floor and get people off the dance floor?
No, I would make sure the DJ turned it off.
In no uncertain terms?
Yeah, in no uncertain terms. Yeah, without doubt. And anyone in their right mind, any DJ in their right mind, should not play that happy time of the year. It's not happy for a lot of people.
Jonathan King has written a number of very, very famous records, but you might not realise that he's written those songs. What's the difference?
Personally, I do know a lot about music, and I know Jonathan King's stuff. Yeah, the same as that. Anything come on from Jonathan King also. It's very similar. I wouldn't tolerate it. People should realise out there, get rid of them, don't even play their stuff. They get royalties for all this as well. They shouldn't get a penny.
I think I'd laugh because it's just it's taken in the same way as the Jimmy Savile thing. It's very bad what's happened. It's very sad, but people just seem to laugh it off.
So you wouldn't go and turn it off or demand that it was turned off? You just stand there and laugh for 3 minutes?
Well, I wouldn't dance to it, that's a fact.
Probably, not taking no notice of it, really.
After what he's done?
Well, it's only a song, isn't it?
Well, I'd have a word with the DJ, whoever's in charge, and say, look, I don't really think this is suitable because of his background. Obviously, he's been put away for things which most people think are completely reprehensible, so we just say that.
Very interesting. Justin, you got someone with you, have you?
Yes, I got Nadine here as well. No ladies on that piece there. Nadine, if you were at your annual Christmas party and they were playing Gary Glitter, another rock and roll Christmas, be honest, what would you do?
Protest. Because he's been convicted of the crime, I don't think he should have the right for his songs to be played anymore. Fair enough if he hadn't been convicted, then it's, innocent until proven guilty, but he's guilty of it.
Ask her about Gloria by Laura Branigan.
Do you like Laura Branigan, Gloria?
Who's that?
Okay. It was a pop song back in the 90s.
Sing it to her.
Gloria, Gloria, da da da, Gloria. Do you like that song?
No, I don't really know it.
Okay, but if it was a Gary Glitter song at a Christmas party, you approach and say, right, get that song off now. Yeah. And if they didn't take it off, what would you do then? Walk out, maybe?
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah. I'd say something to the DJ at least, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Nadine.
Okay.
Justin, thank you very much, Nadine. Justin, stay there. Angela's in St Albans. Angela, what would you do if you heard the Rock and Roll Christmas at a party?
I'd dance. I like that song.
You see, Justin, we can distance ourselves enough from the artist, can't we?
Listen, I think it's a great song. I'm not going to stand here right now and deny that it's a great song, but for me, it just wouldn't feel right. You're dancing away at Christmas. Christmas is supposed to be a really, really happy time, and you're dancing away to a record by a man who, quite simply, is not right and is evil. Well, how could you enjoy dancing to that?
Angela?
Well, if I ran a radio station, I wouldn't play him. I agree with you there.
Yeah.
I would not in any way, shape or form give a single penny to that man's pocket. And if he was on fire, I'd chuck some petrol rather than pee on him. But, yeah, it's a song, and it's done, and it's not going to affect him in any way.
Yep.
So
he's not going to make any more money
Angela,
at a party. Angela, you've had a few drinks, you might forget about what he's done.
I'll never forget about what he's done.
Angela, we've put about £2 in Jonathan King's pocket today. How do you feel about that?
I think you're making a valid point, but I would rather you threw it down his throat in 2 pences.
OK, I don't think that PRS allow us to specify exactly how payments are made, Angela, but I take your point.
Just then, can you say, so just to clarify, and then play, I don't do a show about Adolf Hitler?
You do it.
No, you do it.
And just to clarify, I don't...
No! So you say, and just to clarify, and then press that.
I don't do a programme about Adolf Hitler.
Why?
And that's just to clarify.
Well, you have to do it again then. Because I spoke over it.
I don't listen to the podcast because I'm far too busy hanging out with celebrities like
I leave it all in.
Oh.
I leave it all in.
You don't cut this bit out?
Nope.
You're supposed to cut the...
It takes time.
It's called editing.
Yes, but how much... Do you know how much editing I have to do because of you?
I've been banging on about how
you... It's like working with a child.
I've been banging on... I'm sorry about that. I told you I'll lock the door next time. I've been banging on about how you produce the podcast, and you don't. You just press record and play.
I write the links, and I attempt to edit. Right, so now say, just to clarify.
Just to clarify.
Drugs, prostitution...
Stop it!
We'll end the podcast.
No!
Just to clarify.
I don't do a programme about Adolf Hitler.
What I love about that is he sounds really angry, doesn't he? Look, Justin, do you do a programme about Nazis?
I don't do a programme about Adolf Hitler.
OK, all right. I was just asking him. We'll end the podcast with Melvin Bragg.
Good morning, Ian.
Now, Melvin,
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. You normally only call up to pick us on a tiny, pedantic thing that we may or may not have got wrong. What is it today?
Oh, I've got a whole list, Ian. You really got to move on from that station. You're far too professional to be working there. It's appalling. I mean, if you look at... We'll start with Catherine coughing and spluttering all over the studio. Dearie me. Spreading germs, being unprofessional, and being rude. You've got young Kelly with the angelic voice, who seems to giggle her way through. You know, she's still in denial over the character that she played in the...
It was Gretel.
Music last week.
Melvin, officially, you were wrong on that. It wasn't Gretchen, it was Gretel.
She resorts to phoning in, pretending to be somebody else. And then on the sports, I mean, we had Basil last week. This week we had Martin Jong. Thankfully, you said the right word, Jong. On Tuesday morning, she said that St Albans had won an FA Trophy game and they would play the winner of the Cambridge-Bury game in the next round.
Melvin,
totally different competition.
Melvin, Catherine would like to have a word with you.
Melvin, this isn't really about our output, is it?
Hello, Catherine.
Now, much as I respect your opinion, I think there's something else going on here, isn't there?
Well, I just...
Is this really about Gretchen?
Hi, Dave, it's Kelly from County.
Well, I just love listening to Kelly's voice.
I know you do, but all this criticism, I mean, even to Kelly, you did criticise her a tiny, tiny bit there, and I know you love her. Is it because you got Gretchen wrong?
No, I still maintain I was correct.
But nobody else maintains that, Melvin. The movie doesn't maintain that. We had someone play a clip of the film.
That's easy for you to say, Ian.
Because it's true.
I know I'm right on that one. Anyway, moving on. You really got to get on a more professional stage.
No, listen, nowhere else will have me, Melvin.
I'm sure they would. And JVS is the same.
Oh, go on.
Can I tell you a little one? He was on Radio 5 the other night.
Oh, yes.
Working till the early hours, and he was still back at 3CR the next morning.
He's hardcore.
And he came up with the funniest thing that I've ever heard. He said that one of his guests was an expert on sleep deprivation. And then he said, and you like this,
okay,
I just hope he manages to stay awake. How I laughed.
Melvin, thank you very much indeed for that. Just for legal reasons, I have to say he isn't the real Melvin Bragg. He's actually called Mike. But apparently the real Melvin Bragg is a big fan of the show, and just for legal reasons I have to say that's not true. That's a legal disclaimer. If they can't hear it tough, slow it down. That's it. That's your lot. Send me an email. Dun, the internet. Blah, 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 radio. Done.
Is that really it, or are you going to do it properly now?
No. Make me.
Thanks for listening to this free download from BBC Three Counties Radio, your local radio station for beds, hearts and bucks. on FM, AM, digital radio, and online at bbc.co.uk/3counties.